Hello guys, how are you doing?
Hello.
Hello, Professor. How are you?
Oh, thank you. How are you too? Um, okay, so after this long vacation, which lasted for 2 weeks, I hope that you are good now. And we'll start a new semester with a new literary piece of writing. Before start talking about the prose, we will talk about the writer, and also we will talk about the kind of prose he is writing. So our writer for this semester is called Joonathán Swift. Do you know Joonathán Swift? This is his picture. I think it's a clear picture. Joonathán Swift, he is the writer of Gulliver's Travel. He is well known for this literary piece of writing. And also the age of Joonathán Swift between 1667 to 1745. Yes, so have you read about this writer? Who is that writer? And why he is famous? What kind of writing he used to talk about? What kind of genres he is discussing? So what do you know about Joonathán Swift?
May I?
Hello, Professor.
Yes, hello Ali, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Okay, yes Ali, let's start with you.
Thank you. Let Muhammad start because he...
No, as you
Okay.
like. It's okay.
No.
Anyone of you.
You're bigger than me.
No, Ali, it's okay. It's okay, Ali. It's okay.
Yalla, all of you will participate. Yalla, Ali.
Okay.
محمد يلا محمد بلش.
Okay, Professor. Maybe we should know something about his history of this writer, something about his family, to understand his character of and ideas of his writer, to know and understand why he writes like that, like these novels.
Yes, this is the point.
So Swift was born in Presper's political, intellectual, social, and literary atmosphere, established himself as a skilled writer, seasoned politician, and churchman, and national hero to the people of Ireland. To about background of his family, his grandfather was English churchman, and the revolution was against King James Stuart الأول, the first Stuart. He was with the king against the revolutions, but the revolution won in the end and catch the king and his flowers and also his grandfather and execute them. So his children, it means father of Swift, his children escaped to Ireland, from England to Ireland, where they took Dublin as the second home for them. And Swift, something like inherited from grandfather, they herited and enmity for this revolution and was against their ideas and creed of revolution. When Swift was born, his father had died 7 months ago, and he left behind a wife. So his mother, just with the children, and they were hunger, and poor and hunger, forcing Swift's mother, Swift mother, to leave her son with his uncles and in Dublin and return to England to live with her family. So Swift spent his childhood in great misery, without father and without mother. And on the other hand, his uncles took care of them and taught him in the best Dublin schools. But he stayed in miserable feeling, and he feeling he was a depend on others, a depend for others. without mother, without father. So he was living in misery and sadness.
Yes, thank you very
Yes.
much, Muhammad.
Thank you,
Very good,
Professor.
very good. Thank you very much. So the first thing we learned is that he is not only a writer, he is politician, he is religious man. So all of these things will be reflected in his writing, because you know that literature is the reflection of art of the person himself. راح نشوف انه جوناثان سويفت كل الاليمنتس throughout his life، كل السفرنج اللي حكى عنه محمد now, this will be so clear in his writing, especially in Gulliver's Travel. Yes, Ali. Now let's go to Ali.
Yes, I think Muhammad said everything, but I want to add something.
Yes.
Jonathan was a poet, satirist,
Yes.
essayist, and political pamphleteer. اللي كان Jonathan Swift was maybe
Yes.
he grew up in the church.
Yes.
Okay, his mother sent him. So when he writes or he wrote this like this novel, okay, he's a satiric man. So it's
Yes.
kind of satire.
Yes.
And maybe because he's grew with the Christianity, with all the stories in the Bible, that's make him thinking like that, to write a novel about a man, a giant man with okay. So this kind of maybe effects around him, that's make him. So the first thing, it is a satire, okay.
Yes, this is very
And
important point.
Yes,
he is a satirist.
satire.
Yes.
And you mentioned that in the file that it is a satire of man's vanities and irrationality. So this is one of the reasons, okay? And it's critique of society. Okay?
Yes.
That's
very good.
Okay, that's yes.
Yes, thank you very much, Ali. Very good. Yes. Yes.
Can I?
Maya, I think.
Yes.
Yes.
Jonathan Swift is best known for his works, such as A Fable of About 74, Argument Against Abolition of Christianity, 1712, Gulliver's Travel, 1726, and A Humble Suggestion, 1729. Encyclopedia Britannica considers him to be one of the most important prose satirists in the English language.
Yes. Yes, good, Sumaya. Thank you very much.
Can I add something to his biography?
Yes, of course.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
His grandmother, Margaret Godwin Swift, was the sister of Francis Godwin. Who is that? The author of The Man in the Moon. It's a novel, maybe. Okay.
Yes.
So, which influenced parts of Swift's Gulliver's Travel.
Yes, that's right.
His uncle, Thomas Swift, married a daughter of the poet and playwright Sir William Davenant, a godson of William Shakespeare.
Yes.
Okay. Swift's uncle served as Jonathan benefactor, sending him to Trinity College, Dublin, where he earned Dublin's bachelor's, maybe, of arts, and their friend writer William Congreve. Swift also studied towards his Master of Arts before the Glorious Revolution of 1688 forced Jonathan to move to England, so where he would work as a secretary to diplomats. Okay, he was a diplomat. Maybe he was want this position, where he would work as secretary to a diplomat. He would earn a Master of Arts from Art Hall, Oxford University, in 1692. And eventually, a Doctor in Divinity degree from Trinity College, Dublin, in 1702. Swift, at least, suffered a stroke in 1742, leaving him unable to speak. He died 3 years later and was burned at Saint Patrick's Cathedral, Dublin.
Yes, good. This is his end. Yes, thank you very much. Something you have mentioned, that he is considered to be the greatest satirist in English literature. Why? What is significance in his satire to make him the greatest satirist in English literature? What do you think? Yes, let me hear you.
Can I?
What about the others? المفروض هزقتوا يعني المحاضرة الأولى وصلكم مش قد مرتاحين نايمين. وينكم؟ Okay. Yes, Nabet.
Okay. I think because when he was so involved in the life of the court as a secretary, he know about all the political shit that he reflected in his work. We can see Gallagher when he the little bird as a utopian city that is controlled by law and everything. And in the second part, we see a giant. He reflected in a giant, the giants that he faces. So the different satire in his novel reflected the Western society of the court, of the society of the people, and we can see that the two parts in the novel, the last two parts, were about intelligent horses and a man-like beast. So this reflected the insides of the humans, the brain and the beast that a man can be.
Okay, yes, thank you, Nabet. By the way, this question is very important question, and we cannot answer this question now. After we will finish this prose, we will be able to answer this question, because we have to mention examples. We have to mention examples from the text in order to answer this kind of question. Yes, رقية.
Just before.
اي نبأ بس خلي اجاوب نبأ. انت ذكرتي الاكزامبلز نبأ بس هم ما راح يفهموها هسه لا نشرحها.
I know, but
step by step.
The answer, is it correct?
Yes, of course, but it needs more elaboration with more examples. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you very much, نبأ. يلا رقية, you want to add something?
Answer to the question. One of these tourists was Jonathan Swift and Bart.
Yes.
Tourist was Jonathan Swift. Bart Prominence. One of these tourists was Jonathan Swift and part of Gulliver Travels, especially Gulliver's adventures in Nibelungenboat, satirize the Whigs and Tories struggles against each other.
Yes, French and Britain. It is political, by the way.
It is religious. This answer?
Yes, that's right. We will explain this in every part. He will reflect the political and religious struggle.
Yes.
Okay. And as you know that he knows about politics, he knows about religion. So that's why he is very great satirist. Okay. he's trying to reform society by using satire. You know the meaning of satire. All of you know the meaning of
Yes,
satire
الهجاء.
because we
sarcasm.
explained
الهجاء
it.
نعم الهجاء.
Yes.
Yes.
الانتقادات يمكن.
Yes, Mustafa.
الهجاء العفو الهجاء او يعني الانتقاد.
الانتقاد بطريقة تكون فاني،
نقد الساخر.
السخرية. sarcasm.
حتى يخلي المقابل انه يستجيب لهذا الشيء. ممكن يسوي reformation for society، ممكن يصلح في شيء معين من خلال طريقة تكون يعني funny acceptable by his society. راح نشوف انه Gulliver's Travel is divided into travels، هي من اسمها travels، انه journeys adventures. كل adventure هي symbolic أكيد، يعني it's not real but it is symbols. It stands for something else. وكل adventure راح ناخذها راح نقول stands for what. إذا خلينا هسه بعد ما I hear most of you. Let's just talk about the most important thing in his writing for Jonathan Swift, because he is our writer for this semester. He's an Irish writer and journalist. مثل ما ذكرتوا انتوا قلتوا انه هو Irish writer، وقلت هو journalist، وانه هو pro satirist in English language. صحيح هو Irish writer، لكن هو شنو prose satirist in English language، يعني he used English language بالضبط مثل ييتس، ويليام باتلر ييتس، ما ادري اذا ماخذي او لا. هو Irish okay from Ireland، لكن he used to write in English language. So concerning Jonathan Swift, he just talk about the satire, prose satire in English language. He is well known for his work Gulliver's Travels. يعني هو أصلاً صار مشهور بسبب العمل مالته اللي اسمه Gulliver's Travel اللي انكتب بال 1726. And concerning where he was born, تدرون إنه هذا مو مهم، لكن for general information إنه هو he was born in Dublin and he studied in the grammar school and Trinity College and receiving his BA and MA. يعني من هذه المعلومات نعرف إنه he is highly educated man. وهذا الشيء راح ينعكس بكتابته. راح تشوفون الستايل مالت الكتابة مالته، راح تشوفون طريقة النقد مالته، الفوكابيولاريز الديكشنري يستخدمها، يعني مبين إنه this man is highly educated man. This man is a landman. ليش؟ لأنه he knows everything about let's say think about everything. Okay, so Gulliver Travel is just his most well-known piece of writing. وأكو غيره طبعا أكيد. Then we have the Battle of the Books, another work. Then also A Tale of a Tube, religious satire, an argument. And this is most of his writing. هذا السلايد هيك فشي يعني ملخص عن جوناثان سويفت، إنه هو Anglo-Irish يعتبر. ليش Anglo-Irish? What's the meaning of Anglo-Irish? You know Anglo yes
يعني انجليزي قطعا.
انجليزي نعم، لانه هو اصلا انجليزي هو.
yes.
بس
he born in Dublin، فصار ما بين دبلن وإنجلاند. فلهذا
and he stay loved
mix.
and he stay loved the first home.
Yes, that's right. Yes, so that's why we call him an Anglo-Irish. He is satirist, he is essayist, he is a political pamphleter، يعني يكتب مقالات سياسية. Poet, clerk who became the dean of St. Patrick Cathedral. هذه بالنسبة للgeneral information about him. Then he was born in Dublin in Ireland, and we mentioned this, and from an English family. So his origin is from England, but at the same time he is an Irish, so that's why we call him an Anglo-Irish. Then between 1689 and 1699 he worked in a private secretary to a distance kinship Sir William Template. أيضا ذكرتوا هذه المعلومات. It's not that important. المهم إنه ذكرتوها. إحنا نجي للشغلة اللي تهمنا هي Gulliver's Travel. هي هاي اللي تهمنا. Now, Gulliver's Travel is a new form of satire. يجي وليش يعتبر سؤال إنه why he is the greatest satirist in English literature. إنه رح نبدي به خطوة خطوة هذا الجواب مالته. هو new form of satire. هو شيء جديد. شلون جديد? From the text we will know how it's a new form. Yes, Mohammed, you want to say something?
Yes, I thought you asked, so I want to answer.
Okay. You have an answer for this question, Mohammed?
Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe Swift wrote Gulliver Travels not to make reader cry or laugh. So during that time, many novels wrote, tragic or comic, but in these novels, not to make reader to cry or laugh. He wrote to criticism of politics and philosophy and science in particular, and in the general, he want to the criticism of English society.
Yes, good. This is also an important point. You can add it to the answer of this question. Good, Mohammed. So his masterpiece is Gulliver's Travel, and it is divided into 4 books. طلاب راح تكون عندنا 4 books. يعني مو مثل دكتور فاوستس. هنا الستركتشر راح يختلف. دكتور فاوستس مقسمة إلى acts، وكل act بسين. مو هنا راح يكون عندنا لا، أول شيء مقسمة إلى 4 books. book 1 book 2 book 3 book 4. طبعا كل book راح يكون بيه title، وكل book راح يكون بيه chapters، وكل chapter بيه title. So this is the structure of Gulliver's Travel. ليش؟ لأنه هي أصلاً travels، هي رحلات، هي adventures. فكل رحلة راح يكون مخصص لها book كامل، كتاب كامل لكل رحلة. لأن راح يكون 4 رحلات. Okay. ف 4 books. And the young people prefers only 2 of them. طبعاً هنا راح يكون لهن titles Lilliput أول voyage اللي هي Gulliver's Voyage to Lilliput, where the people are 6 inches high. Then you will see that the Lilliputian fight wars, which seems foolish. راح يشوفون إنه هذول Lilliputians راح يسوون war، وهاي الور إحنا نشوفها foolish. Okay. لكن he means something else. هذه أول وحدة. Okay. أول book. We are going to explain them details. Then ليش شنو الكونسيرن of his books؟ اوكي هاي البوكس اللي كتبها بس هيك حتى for amusement، انه البعض اعتبرها تكون children literature. Do you think that Gulliver's Travel is written for children? Is
No.
it a story for children? والدليل
This is the society.
لكن ليش نشوف دائما افلام كرتون عنها؟ ليش نشوفها بشكل كاريكاتير؟ ليش؟ Is it for children?
Because it's he used the irony, mocking, so it's closed for children's story maybe.
Okay, what
Just
else?
closed.
Yes, okay, Mohammed, thank you very much. Yes, what else? Yes, Ali.
The author used something maybe about the nature of a human. So when you want to maybe to farm something inside children or the humans, okay, the younger or children, you want to put the seed inside them from the young age, okay.
Yes.
When they are child, they understand something and they grow up with this idea.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's the point, maybe.
Yes, this is a very important point. But you know that the literature which is written for children has another purpose. Okay, we will deal with this later on. Yes, Mustafa.
Yes, I think the use of giants and also the tiny persons. I think this is kind of draw the attention of the kids for this kind of right. So these creatures just take the interest of the kids when they hear about tiny persons or giant persons or even the flying city. So it's kind of let's say illusion or kind of supernatural something. So it's draw the attention of children. That's why.
Yes. Good. Thank you very much. Others, I think
Professor,
نبأ.
may I?
بس نبأ أرادت تحكي يمكن. نبأ.
Yes, I think
Yes.
that I think there's a lot of children book have the greatest wisdom that we cannot find in adult book, in all the pages books. So this one is like that. The child won't understand such a bolt in it, but a big one can take some wisdom from it, I think.
Yes, good. Yes, Ali.
The novel, okay. The most important thing in the novel is fiction. Okay, and the fiction makes the effect, the suitable or the fit effect to the child. Okay,
Yes.
the child maybe live in the fiction, and the fiction give the simple idea to the child. Okay.
Yes.
This is the point. And number two. Yes.
Good. Actually, we have many points why some of the critics, not all of them, be careful. Some of the critics consider the Gulliver's Travel as a children literature, but actually it is not written for children. Maybe it's important for children to read or to watch this kind of wisdom, this kind of adventures or voyages, but it is not for children because it is a political and religious and social criticism. He just wants to reform society by using these pictures of just like the tiny people, the giants, the horse, and such things, in order just to clarify the idea. And then,
Professor,
yes, Muhammad.
Maybe he used sarcasm too much. So when he used this kind of sarcasm too much in his story, it will be kind of closed for story of children.
Yeah, they thought إنه اعتقدوا إنه it is for children. Yes, good. Because of the too much exaggeration of satire.
Yes, too much irony,
بالغ.
too much, yes.
بالغ بالساتire.
Sarcasm too much, yes.
Yeah. بالغ بالديسكريبشن، بالغ بكل شيء. فهاي الاكزاجريشن تخليهم يميلون يسموها كchildren literature. لكن احنا راح نشوف طبعا بالاخير انه if it is children literature or not. طبعا انا جاي اسالكم هاي الاسئله اللي هي مهمه حتخلوها ببالكم اثناء ما تقرون طول هذا السمستر، حتى بالنهايه نشوف لها suitable answer. Now, Swift's concern in his works for moral attributes أكيد بها في moral lesson. Okay, he was a man of great morality. فأكيد لما يكون أمان moral man راح يعطينا فد moral lessons، راح يسوي لنا فد social change. So he has a deep hatred for all the rich oppressors. تمادرسوا next year إن شاء الله راح تدرسون ال Hard Times by Charles Dickens. أهم نفس الفكرة إنه يحكي عن ال oppressors، ال rich people وال poor people، وإنه شلون تكون hard times بالنسبة لهم for their poor. I mean هنا هو يكره the deep hatred لل rich oppressors and deep sympathy for all the poor and oppressed. ال oppressors من هم ال politicians. ال oppressors هم ال bad religious men يعتبرهم.
parties.
Yeah, ال parties. Good. من ال oppressed ال poor اللي هم ال common people مثل احنا يعني we are oppressed, we are poor people. So هو عنده هذا الهيترد حاول إنه يوصل المسج مالته من خلال هذا الشيء، وبالإضافة إلى إنه يعطينا فد moral attributes. Then another point is the human nature. Okay, he is talking about his understanding of human nature. Human nature is seriously flawed. Okay, يعني شنو flawed؟ يعني شنو human nature is flawed.
يعني يكون تابع لشخص،
يعني it is flawed، يعني كلها weaknesses. Okay, it is filled with weaknesses. It's not a good human nature because it is corrupted. Corrupted by what? By politics, by religion. راح يحكي لنا عن الhuman nature بالحقيقة وشلون it is flawed، شلون it is corrupted later on. To better human life, enlightenment is needed. يقول إنه لا، الإنسان بداخله good، لكن أكو circumstances هي اللي أثرت عليه. فإحنا دورنا يقول ككتاب إنه نحصل على الbetter human life، الbetter human nature. شلون؟ من خلال enlightenment. لازم يحتاجون enlightenment، يحتاجون إنه wisdom، يحتاجون إنه instructions. Okay, حتى نرجع للحقيقة مالتنا للطبيعة. He intends not to condemn but to reform and improve man nature and human institutions. هو راد شو يسوي؟ راد يصلح ويطور الهيومن نيتشر، وراد يصلح ويطور الانستتيوشنز. Okay, so there is often an under or overtone of helplessness and indignation. لهذا شوفوا يستخدم الاكزاجريشن، يريد يصلح. ايش يصلح؟ الهيومن نيتشر، يصلح المؤسسات السياسية والدينية والتعليمية وكل شيء، حتى التعليمية. He will talk about education in one of his trips or voyages. So according to Jonathan Swift, human nature is good, but it is corrupted by certain institutions, by parties, by the surrounding, and it is his responsibility as a writer to reform and to improve the human nature, to reform and to improve men in general. Okay, that's why he wrote Gulliver's Travel. هذا سبب من الأسباب. زين، هسه تجون نشوف شنو خصائص الكتابة مالته، الارتستيك features of his writings. شنو الخصائص؟ كل كاتب فد خصائص يعني characteristics of his writings. سويفت هو كان معروف بالساتاير. Okay, so he is the master of satire. As I told you before, that he is considered to be the greatest satirist in English literature. Why? Because of many reasons. One of them because he talks not about only one thing, not about politics, for example, not about social life, not about religious life, but more than all of these things will be reflected in this. Okay, so satire is one of the characteristics of his writings. His satire is masked outward gravity and an apparent earnestness, which renders his satire all the more powerful. يعني احنا من نقراها ما راح نعرفها satire. It is masked, it is covered. احنا من راح نقرا القصة راح نشرحها، ما راح نقول هاي satire. احنا عبالنا هي قصة عادية، لكن هي بالحقيقة satire. Okay, when we will criticize it, when we will try to analyze it, we will discover that it's a great satire. ليش ما راح نعرفها إنه هي satire؟ هو يستخدم simplicity والdirectness، الcommon، كل شيء common language, common style, proper words، فما راح نعرفها إنه هاي satire. Okay, so through the
and use the
analysis.
first person the point of view.
Yes.
You know, it's Gulliver talk about himself.
Maybe this is also one of the points. إنه نقول واحد جاي يسولف لنا عن نفسه. So he is not a satirist. But apparently, when we are going to read the story, it's difficult to think of it as satire. عبالكم قصص adventures تتونسون ان تقروها وتباعوها وخلاص انتهى الموضوع. لكن it is masked, يعني covered. Swift is always most well known for his writing style of simplicity. راح نخلص من الديكشن مالت دكتور فاوستس. كان الديكشن صعب بالنسبة لكم، كلمات صعبة، الفوكابيولاريز تحتاج شوية يعني interpretation، تحتاج شرح، أكو كلمات صعبة. لكن for Swift لا، راح تشوفون إنه simple words direct ما يلف ويدور على شيء معين، precise يعني summary، إنه ماكو more elaboration، رغم ذلك هي طويلة، يعني it's a long story. He defined a good style as proper words in proper places. هو يقول سويفت يعتبر إنه أنت لا تظل تسولف وتكتب، لا، استخدم الكلمة المناسبة بالمكان المناسب وخلاص. Okay. Also, simple can create diction, uncomplicated sentence structure. إنه ما نشوف أكو مرات compound complex sentence. مثلاً بدكتور فاوستس كان أكو difficult words، أكو إنه مكتوب بشكل poetry، نستخدم old language، نستخدم allusion، هذا كله ما راح نشوفه because it is written in simple style, direct, precise, okay, proper words. structure مالتها يكون uncomplicated، يعني simple structure، economic اقتصادي، يعني ما هو يستخدم كلمات. And also the conciseness of language mark all his writings, essays, poems, and novels. You know that he is essayists, writers, poets, and novelists. فكل كتاباته بها هاي الخصائص. احنا ما نحكي عن بس Gulliver's Travel، لا، كل كتاباته تكون بها هذه الخصائص اللي هي features of his writing. Then is it clear now this introduction? عندكم سؤال على هذه introduction? I think Ali is writing something. The Christianity effects is very obvious in his writing. He wants to be such a missionary. Yeah, that is right, Ali. It's so clear the Christianity, so clear the sense of politics. كله راح يكون جدا. travel هي عبارة عن قصة واحدة، يعني كل book هو قصة، هو ستوري كاملة، تكون لها خصائصها ولها شخصياتها، لها البلوت والثيمز والكاركترز والسيتنج وكل شيء والستايل، زين، لكن هم كلهم in one book, in one story. Yes. Now, is it clear the introduction? أهم شيء أردكم تعرفون عن جوناثان سويفت هو الساتاير، وإنه هو ليش استخدم هذا الساتاير، شو يريد يسوي بالمجتمع، من شنو كان يعاني المجتمع حتى هو يستخدم هذا الساتاير. وأكيد أهم سؤال إنه why he is the greatest satirist. Okay, and who is Jonathan Swift؟ لازم نعرف إنه هذا الشخص منه هو بس كتب Gulliver's Travel وبس؟ Of course not. He is essayist. He is a dramatist. He is novelist. He is writer, pamphleteers. Is that every writer reflects part of his character and things? Of course. I think, of course, every writer, his personality will be reflected. حتى لو يكون في شيء يعني كل شوية، إذا هذا كان يعني شخصيته بعيدة عن كتاباته، بس أكيد راح نشوف هذا الشيء. يعني خلينا نجربها بنفسنا، هسه الواحد يقعد يكتب في الشيء راح تأثر شخصيته كلش على الكتابة، وأكو يعني أكو بس قليل وهمات يعني نلقى هذا الشيء مالت، يعني نلقى إنه موجود هذا الشخص. دائما الشخصية، human feeling, human personality كلها will be reflected in his writing. Yes, even human behavior.
Professor.
Yeah.
I apologize by interrupt you.
No,
but
it's okay.
About the satire, why he is a big satire? Maybe because maybe that's one of reasons. Maybe because the society was lived in Ethiopia. That's make everything perfect.
He wants, or
they think that everything perfect with their customs, principles, or everything, okay, and maybe because maybe that's the affections, okay, surround them by the religion or the political promises that make everything make the society live in utopia, like Aristotle said. Okay, Plato. Maybe I don't know. Plato. So this one of the reasons maybe make the Jonathan Swift write his novel like in satire, because he knows the truth of the human nature, and why the people maybe should have the sins or the mistakes or everything, and the society cannot be perfect all the time. So he wants yes, he want to maybe like make them make the idea or the idea is naked, okay, naked, and without addition or adding something on the really idea. Okay,
good. Good. إنه in every adventure راح نشوف يستعرض لنا في group of people في kind of people حتى يبين لنا إنه they are not perfect. So ممكن تكون إنه your idea is right. إنه بنهاية every adventure راح يبين لنا إنه ذول الناس هم أكو flaws بيهم، أكو faults، إنه مو perfect. They are not perfect. حتى بآخر book إيش قد ما يكونون عندهم في sense of perfection، لكن بالأخير راح نكتشف إنه they are not perfect. So maybe your idea is right. That's what we are going to discover at the end of the story. Thank you, Ali.
Thank you. بس هي الفكرة أستاذة موجودة، يعني حتى كل الأمم تقريبا تعتقد بهذه الفكرة، من ضمنها اليهود، شعب الله المختار يقولون المسلمين كذلك هم أفضل أمة.
صح.
المسيح يقولون إحنا أفضل شيء. هي هذه
وإحنا ما مثلنا وراح ندخل الجنة، مو
كلنا كل من حاجز الجنة باسمه يعني.
باسمه.
مشكلة. فهذه هاي يظهر بهاي لابد تكتب بطريقة سالمة من أفكار هذا المجتمع اللي يظن هو نفسه هو المجتمع الأوحد أو المجتمع المثالي الوحيد اللي موجود من بين كل المجتمعات، فأكيد راح تكون بطريقة سالمة.
وممكن إنه بعد من كل فواياج كل أدفنتشر ناخذ إنه يعني يريد يوصلنا فكرة إنه لو تاخذون تقدرون توصلون للبرفكشن إذا تاخذون الجودنسز من كل أدفنتشر، يعني ذولا شنو الجود اللي عندهم ناخذه من عندهم، الثانيين شنو نتجنب الفولز ونختار الجود، وبالتالي راح ممكن نحقق البرفكشن، لكن this is something impossible because this is the reality of human nature. Yeah, this is the reality of human nature. We cannot be perfect.
وهذه واحدة من الأشياء اللي بس هذا البلد كان كثير التنوع وكثير يعني متعدد القوميات والطوائف، وهذا كان مصدر قوة إنه أي بلد أو مكان متعدد الثقافات والأفكار نوعا ما مصدر قوة. ليش؟ لأن أنت من هذا الجانب شيء من الصحة، من هذا الجانب أكو شيء من الصحة، منا أكو فكرة منطقية، منا أكو لذلك تكون يعني أنت مسوي يعني ميكستشر between all the people، يعني أنت راح تأخذ الأشياء الجيدة، فبالتالي هجرة هذه القوميات يعني وانقراضها بشكل يعني خاص بالعراق أدت يعني هسه احنا يكون صراع بين خلينا نقول مجموعتين تعتبر الأكثر والأقوى سواء دينيا أو اجتماعيا أو غيرها. فهذا الكاتب يمكن يعني هاي الرواية كانت انعكاس لما يعني بمجتمعنا بشكل خاص أيضا. مثل ما حضرتك ذكرتي إنه كل مجتمع بحاجة زينة أو شيء جيد، أوكي صح. فممكن نستفيد منها، فأيضا هذا انعكاس ممكن إنه تنعكس علينا هاي الرواية أيضا.
Of course. Every literary piece of writing stands for society in general. يعني حتى لو ما لها علاقة بالكونتري بالتراديشنز بس أكيد يعني تنطبق على فد شيء معين. بالنسبة لسؤالنا can we say that Gulliver is a kind of Jonathan? Maybe we will discover this. راح نكتشف راح نعرف Gulliver من هو، وإحنا عرفنا جوناثان سويفت منه. Okay, راح نكتشف هذا الشيء. Okay, now let's continue the slides. For the introduction to Gulliver's Travel. Gulliver's Travel هو Jonathan's best fictional work. هي the best work. هو صار famous because of this work. Okay, and the book contains 4 parts. Each part dealing with one particular voyage مثل ما قلت لكم. هذا كلش مهم structure أردكم تعرفوه. During which يعني كل voyage Gulliver meets with extraordinary adventures on some remote island after he has met with shipwreck of piracy of some other misfortune. حيصير فد حادث chapter الأول بالبوك الأول راح يخليه يدخل بهاي الادفنتشرز، وهاي يعني كل adventure راح يلتقي بها extraordinary things، فالأشياء خارقة تصير. هو هذا الاكزاجريشن باي ذا واي، الاكستراوردينارينس هي الاكزاجريشن اللي سواها جوناثان سويفت. A mix of utopian fiction and novel. هو صاير ميكس ما بين اليوتوبيان مثل ما ذكرتوا انتو وما بين الفيكشن النوفل. Fantastic tale, okay, of travels and adventures told in a realistic way. يعني هي فانتاستيك، هي فانتسي، هي في شيء يعني من خلينا نسميه خيال، بس مو خيال imagination، فانتسي واكو فرق بينهن، لكن الطريقة اللي حكانا اياها بها هي realistic way، فلهذا تكون اكثر acceptable. realism موجود، اكو realism، ماكو في شيء كله imagination، اكو realism بيه. زين. It shows utopian worlds that expose by contrast the faults of Western societies. هذه بالضبط النقطة اللي حكيتوا عنها قبل شوية. هي تستعرض لنا اليوتوبيان worlds، okay، وإنه faults of Western societies. Western societies أكيد عندهم faults، هو يستعرض لنا هاي faults من خلال استعراض اليوتوبيان worlds. It's a satire of man's vanities and irrationality. هذا نوع الساتاير. It's a critique of society. هي criticism للsociety and its absurdities describing imaginary words. يعني التريفياليتي اللي يمر بها المجتمع. هي تنتقد لنا المجتمع والتفاهة، السيلينس، التريفياليتي اللي يمر بها المجتمع. شلون وصف لنا اياها من خلال الايماجينري ووردز. خلفت عالم imaginary خيالي where the defects of real worlds are exaggerated. شلون سواه خيالي؟ من خلال الاكزاجريشن. كل شيء يعني مو الا قصه، كل شيء تبالغ به راح يصير خيالي. كل شغله لما تبالغ قصه
kind of free area maybe.
اي يعني مثلا واحد شاف له فد حادث فد ايفنت بطريقه يجي يسولف ويبالغ شويه بيه صار خيالي، انه يدخل لنا فد اشياء extraordinary بيه
maybe he used fantasy to kind of free area to write what he wants.
بالضبط. هو هذا البيربس اوف فانتسي، انه حتى يكون فري، الكاتب يكون عنده الفريدم حتى يكتب what he wants, what he wish to convey. Okay, then it's a parody of a travel story of Gulliver, a ship surgeon. هو شنو Gulliver؟ هو ship surgeon who makes voyages in several regions of the world. متعود على الفواياجز كل أنحاء العالم يسافر. فالفواياجز مالته راح تكون بالفور بوكس. بوك الأول هو للليلبيوتس، هذول الناس شو نوعهم، شو يريد ينتقد بيهم، شو يقصد بيهم. البوك الثاني هو reversal of the point of view, the land of giants. okay, again كل واحدة راح نشوف إنه ليش اختار هذول الناس، وهمات شنو قصده بيهم. البوك 3 The Flying Island of Laputa, Satire of Abstract Thinking and the Royal Society. اللابوتا واللابوتيانز هم هذول راح نحكي عنهم. And the last book, which is book 4, The Land of Intelligent Horses and Human-like Beasts, the Yahoos, the book of Yahoos.
Professor, we will study all these books?
Yes, of course.
Good. Good.
But we are not going to deal with the every chapter. Okay, book 1 راح ناخذ every chapter حتى نعرف الستايل، طريقة الكتابة، شلون يحكي جوناثان سويفت. لكن باقي البوكس اكو ملزمة سويت لهم اياه العام، فراح يعني كل كتاب كامل ويا شابتراته سوينا له ملخص، يعني المحاضرة الوحدة كتاب هيك سوينا لانه ما كان عندنا وقت. فاحنا كاول بوك هذا لا لازم ندرسه كله، لانه بعدنا ما نعرف منو جوناثان سويفت ولا غاليفرز ترافل ولا ستايل ولا كل شيء. من راح نفهم كل شيء ببوك 1، الباقيات بعد مجرد ستوريز، وكل وحده نوع الستاير مالتها نقدر نسويه بمحاضره. فاخر بوك كان هو عن الياهوز يحكي. فخلت غاليفر divided between two extremes of human potential: rational bestiality, pessimism and disgust for humankind. يعني حنشوفه انه ينقسم ما بين انه الهيومن he likes human but at the same time he likes the yahoos, the intelligent of yahoos. Okay, that's the end of this file. I hope you understand it. ليش كتاباته بس انتقاد. He is satirist. هو satirist. نوع الكتابة مالته satirist. He just want. By the way, satire is very important genre because it will achieve something. يعني تحقق لنا في الشيء إنه for reformation, improvement, development, and this is for today. I hope you understand this well. I want just to take the absence. If you have any question, please you can ask. For next time, اللي هو tomorrow إن شاء الله. Yeah.
May I
Yes.
please? May I?
من أول واحد حكى ما أدري.
ست ماكو فرق.
Okay, ابتسامتي ما حكيت.
Yes. There's
Between the brothers.
two names of Gulliver.
Of what?
One Samuel and another Lemuel. Why?
Yeah, this is the first and the last name.
Yes. What?
شلون هسه the first and the last name. Okay.
The same.
يعني شلون هسه انتي اسمك ابتسام، شنو اللقب مالتك؟ زين، فعادة
لا عفوا ست قصدي، يعني هنا ليش سامويل اكو هنا بالمحاضرة سامويل اكو.
وين سامويل؟
بهالintroduction.
لومينال
اكو سامويل غاليفر يعني اسم ثاني.
اي هو هذا يعني the name. اوكي، راح تعرفوه بالبارت الاول. for tomorrow راح يكون عندنا تحضيرنا chapter 1 from book 1 The Lilliputian. اوكي، اريدكم تعرفون من